that generates or
Yeah, go ahead.
creates content. Yeah. So the content can be text, can be images, can be audio, can be, can be based on data that they've been trained on. Of course, has to be based on data that it has been trained on. Okay, so this one generates after it is being prompted. So it has to be prompted before it starts to generate. All right, so that's what I can say about it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Ignatius, I don't know if you watch football, but you just did. Oh, I don't know how to play, and went on to score a brace or an hat trick. That is basically what generative AI is. So, you actually just said it all. Don't let me say you said it all. Please let me still hear from you. May have been chatted in the chat box. It's an AI model trained on large data sets capable of understanding and responding to user queries. Yes, I think you're right. User queries like the prompts. That's really nice, Maybe you said it too. I still want to hear from us. Richard, David, I will keep calling you. Mary, tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. Have we just, these are just generative AIs are what we've been using basically. Everyone here can, I can say everyone here uses generative AIs. What from what you use, from how you use it, what do you think it is? Basically, so just chat in the chat box or go on to your mute.
Hi, sir. Can you
Hello,
hear me?
David. Yes, I've been waiting for you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good
All right,
morning.
sir. Generative AI is a category of AI actually that leverage on existing knowledge from data to generate new content. Unlike traditional AI that leverage on the learned knowledge from data to categorize or analyze. Generative AI goes beyond analysis, classification, or basically it does generate new content based on the pattern that it has learned from data, like data set it has been trained on, and also its performance is based on user prompt, basically.
Yes, okay, okay, that's a good one. That's really nice. You are telling that's a real definition of what generative AI is. I think I have chat in the chat box. Kenechukwu said generative AI is prompting or training AI to produce desired content, be it data manipulation, videos, audio, or text. That's a good one. Mary said generative AI refers to deep learning models that can generate high quality text, images, and other content based on data they have been trained on. They were trained on. Okay, okay, that's a good one. Generative AI is a type of AI that creates content in response to the prompts of the user. Okay, we have all said it really well. So now, what is okay? Casey said already created data that is based on user prompts. Yes, yes, we have all spoken well. We have said the right things. So what do we think LLMS is? LLMS. When we hear LLMS, what comes? What comes? What comes? I think we all know what generative AI is now. So what is LLMS? Let's hear from two or three. Then we have our trainer in the room already. So what do you think? David, you told us about generative AI. What do you think is LLMS? Okay, large language models. Yes, yes.
All
When
right.
we All right, David, go ahead.
Okay, LLMs means large language models, and these are subset of AI. They are subset of AI, which uses deep learning technologies or transformer architectures. So they are models that have been trained on a very large amount of data, probably the amount of data that could be gotten in the words archive as at the time they are being trained that are capable of generating human-like response. So they act like human. Yeah, like their response is like natural to human language and understanding. So they involve generation of text, images, text summarization, and even language translations. So
Okay. Let me just ask one question, David. What's the difference between generative AI and LLMs then?
okay, LLMs are the models. They are the models. So well, coming.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I think that's why we are here. We're here to
Wow.
differentiate. All right. So let me Mr. Ayola, please forgive me. Let me take one more. Let me see. Ignatius, you went on to get an hat trick the other time. Please, can you pull up the same performance now? Tell us about LLMs. So you said LLMs, large language models like the ChatGPT and Gemini. Okay, so now what's the difference between LLMs and generative AI? Douglas said generative AI is a type of AI that uses text and images to create content. Okay. Are you sure that's all generative AI can do? Ignatius, I want to hear from you. Just you, and then we hand over the class.
Okay, just like David has said, large language models are large language models. So they um they are a category of AI that is very broad, so that it's spread across different ramifications or sectors or different architectures. But the difference is what I can say about the difference is that um okay, the excuse me. Okay, so
Okay.
the generative one is a specific type.
No, no,
It's a specific type. It's specific. Why the large language is broad. That's one simple difference.
Okay, are you sure about that? Well, okay, I'm not going to take too much of our time. I'm sure Mr. Ayola is
sorry,
coming.
sir.
Okay, David.
You kind of interchange it. So generative AI is actually broad, while LLMs are trained to handle basically language models, but LLM can generate anything. So LLM is actually a subset of Gen AI.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ignatius and David. I think even me, I cannot differentiate, but for that's why we are here at the end of this class. I'm sure Mr. Ayola will ask us that question again, and we would be able to give a definite reply. Let me read this. LMS understand relationship between words and phrase. Okay, I don't know the answer to the difference, but let's give. So, Mr. Ayoola Diekola, we all know him. He's a renowned trainer. He's not just a trainer, he's a renowned one. Without taking too much more of his time, let's all go ahead to give Mr. Ayoola a round of applause in the chat box while he takes over the class. Mr. Ayoola, are you with us?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible enough, sir.
Though my name is Friday, so I can see my face. Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's good to have you once again on this call. I can see some of my what's it called? My people. Yeah, I can see David John. Yeah, it's good to have you here. I can see I think I saw some people the other time. Oh, where are they? I saw David John. David John, how are you? Okay, Ignatius, right? I know
I like your car.
Ignatius. Yeah. How are you?
Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good to have you, sir.
That's good. Yeah, it's good to have every one of you on the call. When I knew I was going to be coming to meet you people again here, the next thing that came to my mind was that what do I want to teach you? I just feel like, what do we want to, what do you really want to know again? And what are the things that you really want to know? But I'm very sure at the end of today's session, we are going to be um, one head ahead. It's going to be more better. I've had our conversations, and then we're going to be having a lot of clarity about certain things about generative AI. We're going to talk about LLMs. I see a lot of us mixing LLMs and generative AI together. You know, it's going to be very easy for us. So I don't need to ask what's our expectation, and probably I should do that in just like 6 minutes. Um, you know, I would like to personally ask maybe like 4 to 3 people just tell me for this generative AI um journey that we're about to start. What's your expectation? What are the things that you're expecting to gain from this class? If you're in the last uh half of the year that we rounded up last month, you find out that we're able to learn how to be able to, get data, you're able to train data, you're able to, source for data, you're able to do a lot of things, we're able to build some chatbots, we're able to do a lot of things using Python, using some of the data that was trained. And we talk about some of the uh, libraries. We talk about the NumPy, we spoke about the pandas, we did a lot about uh, uh, what's it called now? We did a lot of things, and at the end of the day, we were able to come to the extent that there's nothing that artificial intelligence want to talk about today that won't say or mention the word data. So everything that makes artificial intelligence intelligent is the word data, right? So let me just quickly hear what is your expectation for this next half of the year. Let me hear what you want to take out from this. Probably we can be able to use it to uh, guide whatever we're going to be doing. So quickly, let's go to the chat box. Let's go to the chat box. Let's see who want to tell me what he or she is expecting to take out from this particular session. Then I'm going to be starting exactly 12 p.m. Don't worry, I won't we take much of your time today because we're going to be doing much of introduction, and I'll be leaving a session for the person coming behind me next week. That's Benga. Is going to be coming up next week. So I'll be leaving a session for him, but I'm going to take you through the fundamentals of generative AI and large language models today. So are we ready? So I need someone in the chat room. I'm waiting so that I can move on from here. I'm waiting, please. I'm waiting. Somebody should do that for me quickly. I have 4 minutes to go. I want to know what is your expectation. I want to know the expectation. What are the things you're expecting at the end of this particular uh 6 months program? What are you expecting? What are you expecting? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. If I don't see more minutes, then I'm going to move ahead. I'm waiting. Okay. Okay. Casey said, want to make work easy at the office. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I'll talk about that. And we'll talk about that. I'm expecting to be able to leverage on elements to build generative AIs that will solve real life problems in the health sector, agricultural sector, security. Okay, beautiful. You're in the right place. You're in the right place. Yeah, good to see you, John. Who again? Who again? Just one more person. One more person. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at how LLMs are developed. No, right place. You're in the right place, Ignatius. Be careful with me. Okay, you're in the right place. Yeah, you're in the right place. So, generative AI, we're going to be talking about that quickly. Okay, so without any further delay, I want to, okay, wisdom says to learn the basics and principle behind generative AI and ways to apply it. Okay, beautiful. We're going to be doing that in depth during our sessions here. So to automate business processes for organizations, okay, beautiful. Yeah, I think one of the sessions we're going to be taking also talking about agents. Yeah, we're talking about how you can use your how you can build good agents. Yeah. So to automate business processes for organizations. So I want to be able to build AI for companies. Ignatius, you have to learn a lot of programming. You have to learn a lot of programming. Yeah. I don't know. Ignatius, you can reach out to me personally. Do you understand? Reach out to me personally. Try to reach out to me personally. I think I'd like to have a chat with you. Yeah. So Douglas Obi says to see how AI can help in marketing products. Okay. 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 Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, before I move on, one of the things I now do is that if you have the opportunity, you can just follow me on my LinkedIn profile. On my LinkedIn profile, just search for Ayoola Diekola. I'll be sharing my screen right away. So, um, okay, how generative AI can be applied in agriculture. Wow. Yes, yes. Yes, you're in the right place. What seconds? Sorry for taking time to be able to join you today. I had some other engagements that was really, it was really tight for me to quickly join up on this call. So because you guys are very important to me, that's why I have to say no. I have to be here. I thought it was going to be tomorrow. I was thinking tomorrow. So I'm sharing my slide right away. Okay. So if you have the opportunity, you can just join me on my LinkedIn um profile so that anytime I have the opportunity to share some things, you can be able to, benefit. Please confirm you can see my screen in full screen, please. I want to be sure you can see this in full screen. Can you see it in full screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
beautiful. Yeah, thank you. We can get started. So once again, I want to welcome you to ARI's 2025, the second batch of the month of the year. And the first batch was very engaging. A lot of people didn't have an idea of what Python was from the initial stage. They don't even know what um, artificial intelligence really entails. They don't even know what training of data really means. They don't even know the difference between data. They don't know the difference. I'm very sure by now they should have been able to identify the differences between data, um, models, they can be able to use some of the libraries. I was trying to say scikit-learn the other time. So, some of these libraries are very powerful to be able to ensure that they build good, you know, and clean AI projects. Very good one. So I'm very sure one of the things we're going to be doing is this particular section, one of the sections, we're going to be doing um, image recognition, patterns, and other things. It's going to be much more practical. And all we're going to be doing this time is going to be very engaging. So once again, I welcome you all, my fellow AI and automation specialists, and I want to assure you it's going to be good. Welcome to Transformation College. So what are we doing today? What are we doing today? We're going to be talking about introduction to generative AI and large language models. I'm not going to waste your time. As I said the other time, I will ensure that we deliver this in no time. So, and we're going to be exploring the and comparing different LLMs. So you'll be able to understand what generative AI really means and what large language models really means. So going forward, we'll be talking about what generative AI is, and as I said the other time, how it works, how your LLM works, what you need to do to ensure that you have a working trained data how you can leverage large language models for different use cases with a focus on education scenarios. So today we're talking about the education scenarios, and we'll be using it as an example for um our LLMs. Do you understand? So um moving forward, what is large language model? Sorry, what is generative AI and what is large language model? I need you to just follow me um, very well. I need you to try to understand that this session is to be able to serve as a build up for what you are going to be having in the couple of months, in the couple of weeks. Do you understand? It's going to really help you. It's going to prepare you to be able to really focus on what you really need to have as an AI automation specialist. So let's really look at what is generative AI. In a simple term, or in a simple terminology, I'll say generative AI is what refers to models. Just try to get that. It refers to models that helps to create new content. It it's what it looks or it takes after using a model to be able to create new content. When I say a model, you understand that model means trained data. Do you understand? Trained data that is used to be able to do or achieve a particular purpose. So I will now say that it's a model that creates new words, new content. So you can also say that it is capable of what generating tests. You can say generating images. You can say it can be used to be able to generate code-based tests or contents. Are you getting me? So anything that's capable of generating tests, that's capable of generating images, that's capable of, accepting information and giving it out to you the way you want it, is what is generative AI. So what really makes this particular technology very fantastic is that it's democratized AI. That is, anyone can use it with as little test prompts. When we say prompt, I think from some times ago I was trying to tell some people what really prompt means. Prompt means giving an instruction. I want to eat, or what is the type of food that is healthy for the body. That is a prompt, like a question you are trying to what feed a system. So you can say a sentence that's written in a natural language. So with this, there's no need for you to learn any programming language. There's no need for you to be going through Java. There's no need for you to be going through Python. There's no need for you to go through SQL. There's no need for you to go and learn one .NET language. all you just need to focus is to what? To be able to know how to prompt or give instruction to a system. So I'll recap that again. Generative AI is what? Is a model, or refers to a model that is capable of what? Of generating what? Text, images, and what? Has the capability of what? Generating code-based contents. So let's move on. So we're going to be exploring some of the startups that leverages on generative AI to unlock new scenarios in the education world, and now we address the inevitable challenges associated with with social implication of its application and the technology limitation. One of the things I'm also going to be talking about is how do we use generative AI in education? How does that make sense to you? How does that really speak to you? You want to talk about a startup, or you want to talk about we want to get to start a business idea, and what comes to your head? You don't have an idea. You have a business you want to start, right? So you don't have an idea of what that business is. You don't have a name of that business. You don't have the market or the audience for that particular uh products or startup that you're about to start. So what do you do next? This generative AI is able to help you create everything from your idea to your market, to how to source for funds, to how to be able to ensure that you get profit or you get people that's going to drive that particular project or products for you. So let's quickly move to the educational startup. So now in education, why do we need a generative AI? So let's just assume that our own startup team is aware that we will not be able to achieve this goal without leveraging on one of the most powerful tools of modern times, that is the large language models. We're talking about that in a few minutes, what a large language model really means. So with this particular example, we'll explore how these powerful tools, especially the LLMs, how they can empower students and teachers worldwide with expectation, let me call it clear expectations, practical examples, and how they can focus on the word applications, how they can be able to gain the skills to harness AI for education. All these things are the things that we're going to be doing with this particular scenario. So before we move further in this scenario, I want to really talk about some of the things that we need to understand again. And you know that I said that generative AI is being democratized. And I said the meaning of democratized is that it is what? It is accessible to all. Everybody was have access to it. So you don't need any special skill to be able to use what a generative AI. And another thing that I said is that I said that it enables rapid creation of resources, or probably gives you the idea that you want for whatever you want to do at any particular time. Example that we are going to be using is the education, which we talk about lesson plans, we talk about quizzes, you talk about exams, you talk about how to be able to ensure that every student have all the resources that they have without having to stress themselves. So let's give an example of what a generative AI looks like. I gave an example the other time. I said prompting. So let's do something in the educational sector. Let's say write a short story about space exploration for a 5th grade reading level. Write a short story about exploration for a 5th grade reading level. Do you know what that means? If you wanted to do this in the past, what do you have to do? You go into your library, you start looking for books that speaks to what? That speaks to space. You start looking for speak that talks about geography. If not, you go on Google. But now, with generative AI, you'll be able to just send a little prompt on, okay, tell me about space exploration, and let it focus on a fifth grade reading level, right? So when you do that, what will happen is that that particular generative AI will get that test and it will give you the real summary, well written, well curated, like a human. So now, what is LLMs? Before I move on, also, large language models, they are what? They are backed with millions of data, and they are being what? They are being embedded in tools. So example of LLMs are what? Your ChatGPT. We call it OpenAI, right? Your Copilot, Microsoft Copilot. You have um your Grok. I think currently the best generative AI that's currently available, currently according to written as at this month, is Grok. And all these things fits on data that was gotten from ChatGPT. So we say their father is what? Is ChatGPT. Don't forget that. So now let's move to our startup. So what do we want to do with our educational startup? I think I've been able to explain what an LLM means. So LLMs provide the models that has been already what pre-trained on millions of data, and I gave an example of them, which includes what? It includes your OpenAI, your Copilot, your Microsoft Copilot, your uh, Grok, and the other likes. So once you're able to give them what instruction or prompts, and they're able to give you an answer, then they are generative what AIs. Do you understand that? So now let's look at some of the goals that we're going to be achieving with this startup scenario. So we want to look at how global access to education can be improved. Yes, we want to look at how global education can be improved. We want to focus on, personalized learning, experience for diverse learning. We want to talk about age differences, talk about those that are going to be working from based on other classes or based on knowledge or age. So we can be able to divide the education based on age, based on classes. We want to talk about based on their assimilation level. I think that one is also very important. So we're going to be leveraging LLMs to be able to create innovative tools for students and what? And educators. So don't forget that I said example of what LLMs include what? Your OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, your Microsoft Copilot, your there are tools that uses what? Large datas that uses models, pre-trained datas to be able to what? Give you access to be able to do what? To be able to give you real-time uh, response based on whatever you input into them. So now let's quickly move on. Let's move to some of the AI, some of the generative, the journey to generative AI. So, it didn't just come overnight. That's one of the it didn't just appear from one place. It has been in existence since the 1960s. Since 1960s. Just imagine. So artificial intelligence came in 1956. So the field of computer science that seeks to create intelligent machines that can replicate or very, very limited. So it started
Mr.
in
Ayoola, your network is
1956,
breaking.
moved to, okay. Can you hear me now?
Okay, right, it's better. Yes, you are.
Am I good now? So it started in, but can you see my screen? Please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay. So it started in the 1960s, basically. But in 1956, that was when the field of computer science came into being to be able to seek to create intelligent machines that can replicate or exceed human intelligence. That was when up with the early chatbots. They use keywords. So all you just need to do is that put in something, and once it identifies that particular keyword, it gives you an idea of whatever you are looking for. Example, whenever you go on Google and you give it you type something there, all Google is that it will pick some of the keywords in that particular sentence and do what and give you a response that particular keyword. So Google leveraged on that. So in 1990s, machine learning came into being, and it was very, very, very dominant in 1997. So this introduced statistical models that learn from data, and it helps in improving language understandings. That is, in 1997, as I said the other time, when machine learning came into full use, it came with a subset of AI that enables machines to learn from existing data and improve upon that data to make decisions or predictions. So in 2017, so we have the emergence of deep learning. And before even the 2017, and in 2000s, we had neural networks. Yes, we had neural networks. We call them RNN, that is recurrent neural networks. So that one helps in enhancing context awareness and powering virtual assistants like Siri. So later we moved to deep learning, which was very common in 2017. So this deep learning, we have been using it for what? It's an advance of what? Or as an advanced machine learning technique, which really place its dominance on neural network and are used to process data and make decisions. So now currently we have the generative AI. That is what every one of us are here to learn, and we're here to talk about. So generative AI, just help in creating new written, visual, and auditory content. As I said the other time, what uh, generative AI does is just very simple. That is, anything that has the capacity to be able to produce text, we call it a creative superpower. Do you understand? Based on existing data that was trained to be able to do what? To be able to what? To give you that particular text, images, or produce any form of code or simple or complex sentence that you want to do. So generative AI is the in thing, and it's what we are really doing currently all over the world. So any that has the capacity to be able to produce, to be able to give you based on tests that was given to it, and is able to what to produce it for you back, then it's what it is generative AI. So let's move to the how LLMs works, how LLM works, and the magic behind it, how LLM works. One of the things that we need to understand is that, as I said the other time, the LLMs are large language models, and they are like digital storytellers. As I said the other time, they are the ones that's been trained based on the data that was supplied. right? So the LLMs turns your word into meaningful responses. Are you getting me? So uh they use uh tokenization. When we say tokenization, means text to numbers. So they break tests into numbers, into small chunks. Are you getting me? They break tests into small chunks and convert them into numbers for processing. That's what they do. So tokenization does what? Helps to break what tests into numbers. That is, to convert it into numbers like a binary numbers and convert them into a language the computer can understand. So one of the ways that the LLM works is that what it helps using tokenization to break tests into numbers. So when I supply what is generative AI on one of the LLMs, like OpenAI, like uh, Copilot and the likes. So what it will do is that it won't just, it will just take it like that. It will break it into what? Into numbers or tokens. So it will convert that particular large word and convert them. So it will go into those particular data that was trained because the models has what they call labels. So it will go and check them and pick the one that has very, very related or close to that particular labels and it's going to display it out for you as a real-time test. That is what you see at the end of the day. So after tokenization, the next thing it does is that it makes predictions. So it's use probability models. For some of us that were in the fundamental class for AI automation, you find out that when we're trying to train some of the models, what we do is that we use the root mean square to be able to check the probability of how that particular data we are training gives us the accurate results. So this prediction, uses the probability to be able to predict the next tokens. After doing what? After breaking it into what? Into smaller tokens or smaller numbers, then tokenization move to the next stage, which helps to predict. And the next stage is what? Is to be able to randomize. It's going to add creativity. It's going to ensure that there's varied output for that particular prompt. Imagine I put write about Ayoola. The next thing it will do is that it will convert write, it will take it as one, about two, Ayoola three. So the tokenization will be three. Then after that, the next thing is to go into the what? Into the data and pick that particular first label, write. Are you getting me? Match it to what it means to write. That is the number that has been labeled, right? Then it's going to also uh, match about to the label about. Then Ayoola to the uh, to the label Ayoola. I said it's going to break it down into numbers. Then after doing that, it's going to make predictions. Okay, what is the probability of this particular uh, result that I'm about to generate? What's the probability that it is correct? So when it is not correct, that's why a lot of times you see when you try to use your ChatGPT or probably you try to use your Copilot to tell you that it does not understand what you are saying, or probably you should try to rephrase what you are saying because the probability of accuracy is very, very low. So after doing that, then the next one is to randomize. What you do by randomizing is that it will just bring in different suggestions based on the labels that have been checked and based on the probability, then it's good to display it to you. So that is how LLM works. Number one is through tokenization. Number two, it's going to make a prediction. And number three is that it's going to randomize those particular uh, uh, tokens that was labeled and do what and give you a real output based on what it has in its what in its memory. So, and as I said, write a student and ask, explain photosynthesis. Don't forget, most of the example we're going to be using today is based on the educational system. So, explain photosynthesis. So, what do you think will happen? So, the LLM will do what will tokenize that particular questions. That is, it will help you to do what? To be able to break it down. So explain one, then photosynthesis, that is two what? Two tokens. Then it will help you to predict relevant tokens. That is, you want to check, okay, what is the percentage of this particular word being found in what? In the data that have already been supplied. Then after that, it's going to help you to randomize, that is, generate what? A clear expectation. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So these are the three major ways where or how LLM work. Number one, through tokenization breaks it down. Number two is through predicting, the output of the tokens. Is it okay? Is it good? What's the percentage of error? What's the percentage of getting this particular uh, output correctly? If it's not correct, then to return back to that is not correct. If it's correct, then to give you based on what is available on the uh based on the data that is available on it. And lastly, that is going to generate a clear explanation for you. So, for example, it's going to say photosynthesis is what? Is how plants are what? Ants using sunlight to do what? To be able to make food from carbon dioxide and water. That's really the definition of. But if it's not available, it just pick another thing and patch those works together, then give it out to you. And if it's not correct, you need to tell it to let it understand what you are trying to give out to hit. So let's talk about leveraging on LLMs for education. We want to talk about the practical the practical application of LLM for education. So don't forget that we're working on the startups. And the startups help us to be able to do what? To create tools that enhances learning and teaching. That's our main focus. So now, the first thing that you need to understand is that the LLM will need you to do one thing, that is summarize. That is everything you want us to do, want to achieve, you need to first say it out. Are you getting me? You give it the prompt, tell it your mind, say it the way you want it, give it that particular idea. Then the next thing is that it's going to now help us in creating that particular write-up for that particular prompt that you gave it. So it's going to help you generate prompts, it's going to help us generate essays, it's going to help us generate project ideas to be able to inspire students. And also it can be able to ensure that every student can be able to answer 247 questions every day. That's one of the things that the large language model is going to be outputting for us. Then probably it can create an assistant, and probably if you want to write your code, it can help you generate all the code. So let's go look at exploring and comparing large language models. So we want to compare large uh, language models. Okay, so let's look at it together. If I ask you now, with the brief knowledge of large language models that I've been able to inform you about, that is, they are the tool that helps you access this generative AI, right? And I give you example of them. I said your OpenAI, your ChatGPT, your Copilot, your Grok, your uh, DeepSeek, and so on. So how do we choose the best one for our startup? Which one do you think is going to be the best? Someone like me, I have one that I was using before, let me say 3 weeks ago. At the end of the day now, I've moved because I found that the current one that I'm using now is best for my work. So how do you choose, or how do we choose the best LLMs for our startups or probably for our projects? How do we choose the best? So one of the things that you need to understand is that they all vary by what we call architecture, by the data that are being used to train it, and by use cases. Some of them have their strengths, they have their weaknesses. So we're going to be looking at some of them in a jiffy. So, the kind of example I give you that I personally have changed. Initially, when I started using the LLMs, I used to use ChatGPT. So later, I found out that it was limiting what I wanted to do because a lot of times it gives errors. I won't call it errors. I'll call it my own personal. It gives me responses that I personally don't really relate with. I moved
Yeah.
to Copilot. Now, after moving to Copilot, in the last 3 weeks, Grok and XAI and Tesla, they worked together. And in 19 days, they were able to do what? To be able to come up with a very strong and powerful LLM. And that is now merged into Grok. So now currently I use Grok. Why? Because once I give it my prompts, it understands what I really want and it can even give me or relate with me the way I really want it. Do you understand? So they all differ. Some people this ChatGPT that works very well for them. So people it is Copilot. Some people it is DeepSeek. Some people it is Binge, and so on and so forth. So don't forget I said that they differs in whatever architecture, whatever training of data that have been supplied to it, whatever use cases. And I said that all this really depends on what the data that have been used to feed them. And I also said that to be able to select the best LLM, are you getting me? You need to also look at what are the tasks that you are doing. Is it text? Is it image? Is it audio? Do you want to work on analytics? Do you want to work on budgets? That is, you want to use a free version or you want to use the premium version? I'm very sure most of us on the call use the free version. Then what's the type of data that you need? So these are the questions that you really need to ask yourself before you start using any of the LLM. And lastly is you need to test and try iterating, to be able to find out which of the model or which of the LLMs is good for your projects. Don't forget, I said the one we are going to be using is what is going to be dependent on this particular 3 key points. Number one is the architecture. Number two is the task that we want to achieve. And number three is what testing of that particular LLM to be able to see whether it's good or not good. So let's go look at some of the types of LLMs that we have. Okay, so let's look at some of the types of LLMs that we have. I said depend me. It will help particular projects. So now,
Mr. Ayoola, your network is
which is
breaking
what
again, please.
confirm you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. So I was saying that based on the types of LLMs that we want to
Are you there, Mr. Ayoola?
yes, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. I think your internet again went off for a few seconds.
Okay, hold on, please. Please confirm my internet is back, Flake.
All right, we can hear you now.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was happening. So let me just take a step backward so that we can move forward. So I was talking about, we exploring and comparing different LLMs. So I was saying that when you want to compare any LLMs based on whatever you want to use, you need just three things. The number one is you want to determine the architecture. When we say the architecture based on the data that we use to train it, example is, are you talking about your ChatGPT? Are you talking about your Copilot? Are you talking about your Grok? Are you talking about your DeepSeek and the others? So before you choose any one of those, you need to also check what is the task that you are doing. Do you understand? What is the task that you are doing? Elon Musk says something sometimes ago. He said, what we do in 1 year, now we achieve it in 90 days, not because of anything, just because of the right LLM that they are using. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? Because of the right LLM that they are using. So you need to choose based on the task that you want to do. Example, are you trying to generate an image? Are you trying to generate a text? Are you trying to generate an audio? Okay, what is your budget? Are you using the free version or you're using the premium version? So, and also you need to check whether it need more data. Do you understand? So the last one is that you need to test and iterate. When I say test and iterate, you need to keep finding, keep checking, keep sending it a prompt. Okay, do this, do this, do this, do that, do this. Check between all of them, then you know which one gives you the perfect one. Don't forget the other time I said currently I'm on one of the LLMs, and though I don't recommend anyone for anyone, yes, I don't do that. But I would like you to also go and pick the one that will be very suitable for you. So one thing that I used to do is when I I'm faced with a challenge, and at the end of the day, I can't move forward, and I ask the AI to assist me. So if the first one does not work, I move to the second one. If the second one does not work, I move to before I move to the fourth one, I will have gotten where the particular problem really is. Where the particular problem really is. So I was not saying that that's about exploring and comparing the different LLMs. I've mentioned the three. So now for the types of LLMs, we have based on number one, audio and speech recognition. We can say text generation, we can say audio recognition. So we can say audio and speech recognition, we can say text generation, we can say image generation, we can say multimodal. The common one that you know is what? Is the text generation. Yes, this is the most common one. And we need to understand that this model, was built or trained with ChatGPT 3.5 to ChatGPT 4. So every of the models that currently uses text generation uses what? GPT 3.5 to what? GPT-4. Take note of that. So what they do is that they help to create essay, they help to create quizzes, they help to be able to get feedback. And don't forget, GPT-4 is the current one and latest one, and that is much more advanced and it's very, very costly. Very, very costly. So this one works, it's worth looking into. You can check it at Azure OpenAI Playground. So I might not be able to do this today. I will ask my colleague coming next because of time. I will have my colleague coming next to be able to show you. But if not, I would maybe when I give a break, I'll come back and show you the Azure OpenAI Playground. So we can start from there today. So now moving forward, we have the audio speech. What does audio speech means? You say it converts it to what? It converts it to text. I'm not sure even any one of us have tried that before.
I have.
So you do what? You say something, it converts it to text, then it gives it back in speech. So it helps in doing what? It helps in translating, transcribing. Are you getting me? And it also helps in multilingual. So example is that probably you want to speak in French. I don't know what to say in French. So just tell it to just say good morning in French. Then you reply you back in French. Do you understand? So we also call it a whisper type model. We call it a whisper type model. So we can look into that and we also check it as time goes on. So I think I told Ignatius to reach out to me. So I will be able to show you one of the projects I'm currently working on. So since you said you want to see how you can develop a full application, I'm thinking he's a full based developer. So as an AI automation expert, you'll be able to see how it's been integrated to real life applications. So we also have the image generation. So for image generations, we have the DAL-E, to be able to generate both biology diagrams and generate, GPT-4 we also have GPT-4.0 to create a virtual tutor that assists or answer questions and explains images. So for image generation, we have the best one currently is the DALL-E, and I'm very sure a lot of us have heard about that too. And if you've not heard about that, you can just quickly type on your Google and search for DALL-E. That is DALLE. So, and they also have that GPT-4.0. So we are in the premium version of your ChatGPT. You'll be able to have access to this GPT-4o. So that's the different types of what? The three different types of LLMs that we have based on their categories and based on whatever we are choosing for them. So let's move to foundation model versus the LLMs. The foundation models, you need to understand that they are building blocks for specialized LLMs. That is, the foundation model was coined and defined as an AI model that follows some criteria. So it follows some criteria such as number one, they are trained using unsupervised learning or self-supervised learning. That is, they are trained on unlabeled multimodal data and they do not require human annotation or labeling of data for their training processes. So they are what? They use unsupervised or self-supervised learning. That is, it's required no human label. So what do you have to learn there is that when you say unsupervised and self-supervised, so that means that it doesn't really need any human help to be able to train those particular models. So it also serves as a base for fine-tuning to task-specific LLMs. That is, they are very large models. They are based on very deep neural network trained on billions of parameters. And lastly, is that they are ideal for customizing or to be able to be able to use for educational needs or whatever project needs that you want to use it for. So let's work on So let's go look at this. These are foundational models. And don't forget I said that they uses self-supervised learning and unsupervised learning. That is, they don't need any human labeling. And what does it mean? That it goes through the pre-trained steps, the generalized steps, that will and large level. So what it does is that ChatGPT, your Grok, your everything works basically on what unsupervised and self-supervised learning method of what of training a model. Do you understand? That is, they are being pre-trained, they have access to all the data at once. Are you getting me? So they can be able to understand what those data are based on the data that have been made available, and there are plenty, billions. I said the other time that we have billions of parameters that were used to train them. And they do what? They can learn by themselves. So looking at the foundation model also, so you understand that to build the first version of ChatGPT, there was a model that was called 3.5. Are you getting me? And it served as the foundation model. So this means that OpenAI used some chat-specific data to create a tuned version of 3.5 that was specialized in performing well in what in conversational scenarios such as chatbots. So these are an example of a foundational models. That is, they are the building blocks for all what all LLMs. So let's look at the open source versus what proprietary models. So choosing between open source and proprietary models is a critical decision, sincerely. So let me just define the open source and the proprietary for us in a very easy word or manner. So open source, when you hear open source, what do you mean? Number one, we talk about free. Yes, it's free. It's customizable. Are you getting me? I'm very transparent, but may lack requires significant resources because you have to reset it to be able to do what you really want. That's open source. But the best part of it is that it's very accessible, it is free, and it is what you can be able to do. What you can be able to access at any particular time. Example is Llama, Llama, Bloom, and Alpaca. That's an example of free. So you can look at them. So they are one of the LLMs, free LLMs that we're going to be using in what's it called? They are going to be using during the course of this training. And these are very, very much what accessible. So our own startup that we want to build, can use Llama for experimental projects, but we still need to rely on a model, either ChatGPT or we use Azure. Because don't forget that even we are using Llama, we still need a model that's either the ChatGPT or what the OpenAI models for secure, scalable, and user-facing tools. So let's talk about the proprietary. So the proprietary is optimized, it's secure and scalable, but costly and less transparent. So let's go again. They are what? They are very, very optimized, they are secure, they are scalable, but what they are very costly and less transparent. Yes, example is your ChatGPT, is your Google Bard, is your Copilot, because one of the things that they do there is that if you really want to enjoy it, you have to do what? Use the premium version. It's very expensive, but one of the things that you will not get wrong is that you won't have to bother yourself about fine-tuning them like the open source. I think you're able to understand the difference between the open source and the proprietary models. So, and then we are going to be using the open source. You still need to connect it to a very much more secure model, so that at the end of the day, whatever you are trying to build is what is secured. So let's talk about the sorry. Let's talk about embedding versus image generation, test and code generation. So I'm going to call it uh I'm going to call it from text to images. How to be able to generate from text to images. You know that LLMs, as we said the other time, can produce various outputs, right? Based on the type of model that you are using. And each unique have different applications. They have a very unique and different applications. Do you understand? So these embeddings make it easier for machines to understand the relationship between the word or sentences and can be consumed as input by other models. So, such as classification models or clustering models that have better performance on numerical data. So, now let's move on a little bit. So looking at it, so from text to what to image generation, look at it. So Microsoft now is going to be what is going to be converted into numbers. We called it what tokenization, right? The other time. So it's going to break it down into what into numbers. Then it's going to embed it. Then it's going to now return it back to you as what as a generated statement. Let's look at image generation models are used to generate images, right? Text generations are always used to what? To generate tests, right? So you understand that these models are often used for image editing. Some of the applications that uses some of these image generating models include if you've used Canva before, if you use FreePic, and a lot of them, if you are someone that does a little bit of graphics, you understand that when you go to Canva now, you don't even have to go to ChatGPT or go to anything. They've leveraged based on what? On this either open source or the proprietary, which is the paid version. They'll be able to leverage on them to be able to ensure that you can be able to generate any form of image, video, or content from their particular platform. So let's look at this. Once you prompt your LLM and you say a picture of a flying dog, are you getting me? Then what happens is that the LLM now tries to do what? To tokenize those words. Are you getting me? Then predicts if whatever it's saying or whatever tokenization you already have is available in what is available in that particular data. Then the last thing that it will do is that it will now generate that particular image for you. That is how generative AI really works. So let's move on again. We'll talk about the text and code generation models. And I said they're just based to use to generate text or code. This one is the general one that we know. A lot of us don't know a lot about the image generation. You know, you can use your ChatGPT, you can use your Open AI, you can use your Azure AI, you can use your Microsoft Copilot, you can anyone to be able to generate AI. But we have some of them that their job is to specifically generate images. We have some of them that their strengths or the architecture is built to only handle tests and be able to what decode or probably summarize whatever you have asked it to do. So example of a test and code generation model is just this. Write a letter to my teacher about me missing my class today. We're all used to this. So it's going to say, dear teacher, I'm ready to inform you. These are the tests that will be coming out. So how does it go? it takes the 3 steps I will mention the other time. Number one is that tokenize. After tokenizing, it does what? It predicts. After predicting, if it's okay, if it's not okay, if it's okay, then it proves what? Giving out an output that is very, very, very important or needed for that particular answer. And don't forget, it is not always right because it's working based on the data that it has. So let's talk about the encoder versus decoder only. Yeah, the encoder versus decoder only. So I told you the other time that we have different types of architectures of LLMs. Are you getting me? And they vary in how they process and generate content. I've mentioned that severally. The way they output their content is very, very different. Very, very different. So there's an example that I say, imagine your manager gave you a task for writing a quiz for the students. You have 2 colleagues. One oversees creating the content and the other overseeing reviewing them. So now listen, the content creator is like a decoder only model. Let's start again. The content creator is like a decoder only model. So they can look at the topic and see what you already wrote. Then you can write a course based on that. They are very good at writing engaging and informative content, but they are not very good at understanding the topic and the learning objectives. So what does the decoder does? Very simple. They are great for generating content, but weaker at deep context analysis. Let me repeat that again. A decoder does what? Like GPT-3. So most of you that are using the free version of ChatGPT, so you find that these are some of the constraints that you always have whenever you exceed your limit. So you just be getting content, but they are very weak. Are you getting very, very weak at really giving you a deep context to that particular thing that you are trying to look for? So let's talk about the encoder only. The encoder only. So let me say this also. That is, the reviewer is like an encoder only model. They look at the course written and the answers, noticing the relationship between them and understanding context, but they are not good at generating content. The only thing that they do is to be able to understand text, but they don't generate content. Decoder words generates content, but gives a weaker word result. That is, they don't just give you a detailed, they don't even understand what they've even generated. They don't understand it at all. But with the encoder understand that particular text. I get me, but they don't generate text. Now let's move to the encoder decoder uh decoder. So when you combine this particular two together, when we combine this particular two together, you find out that you'll be able to combine the understanding of one that can write and the one that can understand the writing. Then it will be able to summarize whatever prompts or questions that you've given to it. That is the encoder and decoder. One can write, are you getting me? It cannot understand. The other one can understand, but it cannot write. But by the time we match the encoder and the decoder together, they can both write and understand. So let's move on together. Services versus models. So now, don't forget that I said the other time that AI is built based on data, right? And those data are being trained into a model. Do you remember all those things that I said when I started? They are being trained into a model. So AI, are you getting me, is dependent on all the type of model that have been trained. Do you understand? So you can say a model is what? Is the raw AI. So when you train those data and you remove all the, you labeled them, after labeling, you find out that there's no issue, there's no challenge. Then the next thing you need to do is to do what? Is to ensure that they are in a good format. Then that will now be what? The raw data that AI will be using to be able to get its information. So I can say that a model result is a raw AI. Let's do that. A model is a raw AI. That is the only thing that AI depends on. So services does what? Add user-friendly features and scalability. Services add user-friendly features and scalability. That is the the things that is needed, all the information, all the data that is needed to be able to get that information, that is model, right? So the architecture itself, the interface itself, the features that are being added to that particular AI is called services. Do you understand? So, like your graphical interface, I mentioned that the application and everything, those are services. Why model and why AI is the raw model itself. Do you understand? So now let's move on. Let me recap again. Services offers what? The user-friendly features. Abi, example, your GUIs, that's your graphical user interface, your security, talk about your scalability, but it's required some maybe subscription or something to be able to do that. That is where the Azure comes in, the ChatGPT playground and everything comes in. Do you understand? So, but the model, it provide control, but need infrastructure and expertise to be able to run them. That was another reason why I asked Ignatius to be able to reach out to me um, at his leisure time, so or free time. So we're going to be using um Azure AI Studio. I'm going to be using Azure AI Studio. So before we move or go on a break, maybe like 5 just 10 minutes, we will to just quickly uh walk around. I don't know. Emmanuel, I mean, I don't know how many minutes we'll just quickly go on a break. So let's just come back and round this up for today. So going so far, we need to see how we can test and iterate with Azure AI Studio. Do you understand? That's what we need to do now. We need to see how to be able to find the best LLM. We want to use Azure AI Studio. We have the ChatGPT AI Studio. I'm going to show you that one too. So I want to see a platform for experimenting and deploying our AI models. Do you understand? So these are the things that we really want to do in the next session. So Emmanuel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr.
Yeah. So can you give
Ayoola.
us maybe 5 minutes break or 10 minutes break or how many minutes do you want to give us? So we can just
Uh,
quickly work it and then we'll come back and round this up. I'm very sure that some people want to go to mosque or something. So maybe by um in some few minutes when we come back from break, we can round up the class. Thank you.
yes, since we won't be taking too much time, we can just go for 10 minutes break. So 10 minutes break, then when we are back, we'll round up.
So we'll be coming back by 1:15.
Yes, 1:15.
Okay.
And yes, the slides will be shared. I just saw the message on the group. The slides will be shared on the Telegram group after the class. Thank you. So 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Let's go on 10 minutes break, everyone. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Mine, it's good to have you here too. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's good to have you on the call also. So, as I was saying, so the first one is the OpenAI Studio. So that's where we're going to be testing some of these models and we're going to be training them. And then we also have the portal.azure.com. So that's where we're going to be testing. These two are the major ones we are going to be using. So, but before we move on, I guess I'm going to be sharing you my screen. And then I'm going to be walking you through how to be able to create um coming. Don't mind me. So I'm going to be showing you how to be able to create Azure Portal. I told you the other time, it's very complicating. So what I'll do is that I want to walk you through how to be able to create it because you have to deal with licensing. So you have to ensure that your card, probably you go get a dollar card, or you ask somebody to give you his dollar card, or just find a way to be able to ensure that you're able to register on that particular platform, so that from the next class we can be able to start testing those resources and testing all our models. We're going to be able to create some of these models. So I'm going to be showing you some of the things that we're going to be doing. So please follow me very well. Confirm if you can see my screen, please. I'm trying to share my screen now. Please confirm you can see my screen.
We can't see it yet. Maybe it's still coming up.
Okay. I'm trying again. Okay. Can you see my screen now? Please confirm
Yes,
you
we
can
can
see.
see the screen.
Yeah. So please, everybody, please follow these steps to be able to ensure that you are able to create your Azure portals account. So what you need to do is click on Azure, sorry, portal, can you see, .azure.com or www.portal.azure.com. Once you click on that, wait for it to load. Sorry, let me change this browser. I'm coming. I need to change this browser. 1 second. Let me change this browser. Okay. Okay. Portal.azure.com. All right. So click on it or enter. So wait for it to load. It's very, very complicating, as I said the other time. So it's going to ask you to sign in. So before you even start at all, you need to create a Microsoft account. So you can use your Gmail to be able to create one, your current Gmail account. So it's not compulsory you have Outlook, like live, maybe something dot live at live.com, those kind of things. So or probably at outlook.com. So you don't know those ones. All you just need to use your Gmail. If you don't have one, just click on create one. So once you click on create one, it will help you. It will take you to how you're going to create your account. Can you see? So just enter your email. So I'm going to do one here. Let me see. Mm, I want to believe you can still see my screen. So I just want to walk you through how to be able to set up this playground. So say I'm already have an account set. So after doing that, just walk it through and then go to wherever you are going. So once you are done with that, let me sign in. I can't remember my password though. Um, 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 um. Let me use this. So you need to sign in. So you need to sign in. So once you are done registering, you need to sign in now. So let me sign in. So I just need to get a code on my what's it called? Get a code on my mail. So let me quickly go and look for the code. So hold on. Don't forget the first thing is to create an account. After creating an account, next thing is to do what? Is to be able to um get your code. So it's going, it's going, skip for now. So let me close this. So skip for now. So these are two factor authentication. So I can click on yes. to keep me signed in. So on this one, it's going to take me straight to the subscription. So that is where we used to have problem. Do you understand? Though I have an account that has already been activated, so you might also need to go activate your account. I can't give you my personal account. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I can't give you my personal account. So there are three ways to be able to activate the account. Number one is to start a free trial. Can you see? Number two is to be able to use uh maybe smart IDs or something. The better option is to use Azure for students. This one, you can get free credit from Azure. That's if you do their certifications or you do some of their exams, they will give you some credits. So that's well for us that are on the call. We're going to be using this particular what's it called? Start a free account. So all you just need to do is come here, click on start account. So after clicking on starting account, it's going to take you to pay as you go. Try Azure for free. So start Azure for free, then you will need to enter your card details. Do you understand? I think the Nigerian government, basically, we're having challenge with the Nigerian cards initially, but I think the Nigerian government have really helped to be able to ensure that you can transact with some banks now, like GT, Zenith, Providus, or some other banks like that. You can transact with them to be able to ensure that you have sorry, you can transact on dollar sites. Do you understand? On dollar sites to be able to do this. So uh we have the country, your Nigeria, you choose Nigeria. Sorry, there was a mistake. I chose Singapore. I don't know how I can go to Singapore. Okay. You put your name, you put everything. After that, you just click on next. What's going on? Okay, you need to solve this puzzle. Come in. Let's try and solve this puzzle. Come in. Come in. Oh, this is not my delay or CJ. Okay, I was not wrong again. Just let's finish solving this puzzle. Ah, I have to start again. Here. Oh, I have to start again. No. Yeah. Stand the streets. Let's just do this together. How is it looking? Is it looking like this or is it looking like that? Okay. So I think we have the last one. I hope we are right. Okay, it means one. Okay. Please be correct. We have to start again. Sorry, it's part of their security measures. I told you the other time that Azure, setting up of Azure is very, but I want to ensure that I walk you through to the extent where you need to make your subscription. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I think we have one more left. It's going to face me. Submit. Aha. So I've proven that guys that takes a lot of time before schools. And so I just need to click on next. So the next thing it's going to do is going to provide, I provided my identification, then I need to do what? Provide my credit card. So that is where we are always talked, especially for those people in Nigeria. So if you're not in Nigeria, you might not have any challenge. You might not have any challenge. What happened? What happened again? Why now? Why? So let's try this one more time. If it doesn't work, I'll leave it to you to go and try yourself. Creating an account on Azure is very crazy. That's why I have to start with it first. So I have one here. So now, share. I mean, next. So provide a credit card or debit card. So can you see? So now it has taken me to where I'm going to enter my credit and debit card. So once you are done with this, if you finally get there and it's able to accept, your credit card, it's going to give you a $200 free credits because it's based on what? On credits. The usage of Azure resources are based on credits. So it's going to give you a $200 free credits that you can use to test, do whatever thing you want to do in just 1 month. Do you understand? Just that's 30 days. So after 30 days, it's going to expire again. So as Nigerians, what we do is that if you want to test like that, we'll keep on looking for. But it's good. You can subscribe. You can subscribe and just put some good money there. Maybe like $20 or $30. So it doesn't have to expire. Anytime you need it, you will just pick it up. So that's about Azure. So once you do that, you'll be able to get access to all resources on Azure. So let me move on from here. So this is going to be a task for everybody. You go back home, you go and set up uh you go and set up your Azure portal. You go back and set up your Azure portal. So now let me just walk you through the Azure portal itself. Let me walk you through the Azure portal itself. So let me walk you through the Azure portal itself. So by the time you come to Azure portal, so let me say you are done paying, you are done making your payments and everything. So all you need to do is to come to Azure AI Foundry. This is where we are going. All you just need to do is to click on create. Can you see? All you need to do is come here. Are you getting me? So you can decide to create an AI resources. If you already have existing resources, you can do that. But let's just come to Azure AI Foundry. Then you click on, come to Azure. You can over it. So you just click on create. So it will help you create a new resources. Okay. So all you need to do is you need to add a resource group. You might not have one existing, but in case you have, you can just put a resource group there or create a new one. Just click on create then. I was one that created this PSC test. So you need to give it a name. So let's give it a name. The name can be I'm coming AI model testing. Can you see? Then give it the project name. Now call it Transformation College AI class. So all I need to do is to click on next. Then I need to pick the networks. So I can say all network including internet can access this. So I can say selected network, but let's choose all networks. So you click on next, you click on identity, So I'm going to be using system assigned. So I don't need to provision anything there. So let's encrypt it. If you want all your data to be encrypted, so you click on this, and if you don't want it to be encrypted, you leave it out. So let's do it like that. Then we add tags. Tags are, what do you want your project to be called? What do you want them to be called? So I can just call it testing models. So I'll give the value 1 or true or something. So I'll click on next. So we'll wait for it to review. And then once it's done, it's going to create it for us. Can you see? Can you see for yourself? It's done creating. So just click on create. So it's initializing. It's still loading. It takes a little while. So just wait for it to finish loading. Then after that, we will now choose what do we really want to work with. What are we really working with? What model, what resources are we really working with? So you can scroll down. It's still loading. It's still creating. Yeah, just hold on. So you see the status here. Can you see? Deployment is in progress. You see the status up here. So let's just wait while it does that. It takes a little while. So let's keep waiting for it. Okay, almost done. Almost done. Okay, beautiful. Can you see? So we can decide to pin this to the dashboard. So when you pin it to the dashboard, let me show you what happens. Let me show you what happens when you pin it to the dashboard, duplicate. So let's go back. Go back home. Go back home. Sorry, home. So anytime you come around, you'll be able to do what? You'll be able to see it on the home page. Can you see? Can you see it? Your resources is here. The first one I created was PSC test. So this one was AI model testing. So these are the two resources that I've created. So I can decide to use any one of them or probably come to Azure AI. Once you click on it, you'll be able to see where all your resources are. So you can click on view all resources. Don't forget, I said I won't be dwelling much on this today. I just want to show you. So for those people that have real access to be able to set this up later, then they are good to go. So let's go to resources. So once you go to resources, you choose which kind of resources do you really want to use. Is it the ChatGPT 4? Is it the ChatGPT 3.5? Is it the ChatGPT 0, or is it the AI as AI Azure AI open model? So let's move on. So sorry, please let me drag this out. So can you see here? Everybody, please take note of this. Go to Azure AI Foundry portal. So click on it. So here, what I did was I clicked on the resources. Are you getting me? Then it brought me here. After doing that, I went to the what? Go to Azure AI portal, Foundry portal. So I'm coming there now. So it's loading. So after loading, then I'll be able to choose what am I building, which can you see this is your API key. You can view it, you need it. This is your endpoints. These are what we really use to connect whatever we develop here to our front end. this is whatever we need. These are the keys that are needed to be able to connect to your front end. Anytime you are developing it. So we have the model catalog. So let's go to the model catalog. So, but basically where we are going is what is the playground. The model catalog shows us which kind of model are available. So can you see we have O3, that's the GPT O3 Pro, O3 Mini, we have O4 Mini, we have and so on and so forth. So these are the what's it called? These are the models that are currently available. These are the catalog. These are the models that are currently available. So we have the playground. We are really going to the playground. So once you come to the playground, so you can decide to check based on Azure AI and then see how the playground works. Let's go there. Let's just go there. So let me duplicate this. So let me go back here. So you can decide this chart, we mentioned text, right? We mentioned images, we mentioned audios. Those are the type of what LLMs that we have. We have the video, we have the speech, we have the language, we have the translator playground. So you can decide to play with anyone. All this thing that we are trying to do is just to ensure that we are able to test them and achieve whatever we need to achieve in our models. And if it's not what we wanted, you can click on create new. I don't know why it's okay. So create new deployments. You can click the new deployments. So either from a base model or from fine-tuned model. A base model is the model for ChatGPT. Do you understand? It's a model for GPT. So either 3.0, 3.5, or whatever model that you're using. The fine-tune models are the ones, let's call it the expensive one. You have to pay for this, for the fine-tune model. The another very fun about fine-tune model is that you can also add your own modifications to it. You can also add your modification to. So let's work from the base model. So which model do you want to use? Remember I told you the general model, the fine-tuning, it's the what's it called? It's the uh paid versions, and you have to also uh you can also add your own training to it, or you can fine-tune it to be able to ensure that it fits into your own organization or probably whatever projects that you are doing. So let's just work with 04 mini. So look at the capability, look at the 4.1, but you cannot get the real ChatGPT 4 exactly. Yeah, it will not be available because it's on the what the fine-tuned own. So GPT 4.6 is the latest version of model family. So you get all this. So you have to have so just click on confirm. So once you click on confirm, it will create the interface for you. Then oh, I don't have enough quota. Oh, let me see. Let me see what I can do. Let's go for a lesser one. Let's go for a lesser one. Let's go for a lesser one. Model router. Let's do this. Yes. Ah, it's still the same. I need something free. Can you see all the models that I mentioned the other time? The Llama, the Grok 3, and some of the DeepSeek. These are all models that you can use. I'm trying to see one that is free here. Let me use this. Confirm. So let's hope it's not going to ask me for extra tokens. But once you do your own account, you'll be able to use all these features. Don't worry, the next instructor that's coming in the call is going to really take his time to show you all this. I'm going to ensure that this is the first set of things that it does before it really moves on that day. So while we load these resources. I would also like to show you the second AI platform, which is ChatGPT. Don't forget that ChatGPT is open source. Do you understand? Even as much as, let me see what you are seeing on my system. I don't even know if you are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, good. So even as much as you can be able to uh do a lot of things here, you can be able to do a lot of things here for free, it is still limited. You still need to be able to pay some. This one does not need any special sign up. All you just need to do is that you can even log in with your normal ChatGPT, what's it called? Someone like me now, I'm going to log in with my own ChatGPT uh address or email and password. So coming. Coming. So I just need to log in with myself. It's going to automatically go there for me. So I don't need to create another new account. But if you don't have a ChatGPT account, all you need to do is to be able to do what? To be able uh to be able to create an account. So at this stage now, so you can say you want to test 4.1 04 mini 03 03 is is the most powerful, but 04.1, is what's it called, is still the latest. And can you see that it's model for complex task? So it's the complex for model for, so we can go for 03. Do you understand? So all we need to do is that, though we are going to be trying in playground, can you see try in playground? So, but for real-time usage, you need to have this kind of money in your account. So by the time you set up your account, you'll be able to see where you can make your payments. Yeah, you can see where you, so when you go to profile, you'll be able to see where you can make your payments. So let's just go try in playground. So when you go to try and playground, it's free to use. So, okay. I said Xerox is not available for me. So they are using the default playground. So I need to add my payments method too. So let's add our payment method. So just click on payment method. So just add it. They won't deduct anything from you. They also have free uh they also have free usage. Do you understand? So you can just put it there and just click add payment details. So once you do that, then continue. Then you're able to do. So I'm going to ensure that the next tutor that will be coming on board, so that we'll be able to take enough time to be able to, this one is still creating. It takes time sometimes, and sometimes, depending on your network, it might just be very fast. But for now, it takes a little bit of time. So what we'll be doing is that we're going to be training our model, we're going to be testing it, we're going to be fine-tuning it based on these two playgrounds that we have mentioned. And don't forget, both the open source and uh the paid one, don't forget that the two of them, they are very better. But the difference between the two of them is that the open source is very free to use. And I said examples Lamla and the other ones. And I said the paid ones, examples the AI, Azure AI, uh Azure AI, and what's it called, ChatGPT. They are very, very good. Though ChatGPT is open source, they also need your card to be able to ensure that once your credit finish, you'll be able to uh you'll be able to pay back. You'll be able to pay back. So I'm going to be stopping here. I'm going to be taking questions and answer. I'm going to be taking question and answer from here, maybe in the next 4 minutes, so that I can release everyone from here. Thank you very much for your time in the class. Do you have anybody who has questions? Do you have any question? So don't forget, I said the task you are having for now is ensure you, once this material is sent to you, ensure you go through setting up those playgrounds, because that's the only way. Then take a walk around, watch the video watch today's video and see how to be able to set it up. It's very easy. It's very easy as ABC. So it's very easy to be able to use. So it's very, very easy to use. So it's still, can you see, still loading resources and quota. It takes some time. But once it's loaded, every other thing is free, because we are using a let me say, we're trying to have access to billions of data that have been trained into this. So thank you very much. Any question? Okay, I think I have a question. Okay, it's not a question. Any question? Any question? It looks complex, right? Let me hear from two people before we leave. Don't forget, in the summary, what we've learned today. Sorry, 1 second. What we've learned today. Don't forget what we've learned today. It's very important to understand how generative AI really works and how LLMs really works. And I said that LLMs, they are the what? They are the brain behind generative AIs. That is, LLMs, they are they are the models. They create the models. I get me that decode and at the same time encode. They decode and at the same time encode models. So after doing that, the coding is able to really understand. The coding is able to accept what your prompting, while your encoding does what it helps to be able to decode whatever prompts that uh you are able to give out. So, and also said that we have the model outputs. Examples are the embeddings, the text or code generation, the image generation, and I was able to explain some of the examples on them. I was also able to talk about the open source and the proprietary models. I was able to talk about the Lambda, they talk about the GPT-4, talk about the Cloud 2, and I said the open source, they are free, they are customizable and transparent, but may lack production-ready polish and they require significant resources. That was what I mentioned the other time. I also said, I'm trying to see if this thing will we conclude before we leave this class. That's why I'm still projecting it. So I also said that we have the foundation models and the LLMs. And we said the foundation models are they are the building blocks for all specialized LLMs. Like now, what we want to do now is that we said it should do what? It should choose the ground model. That particular model is the foundation model. That is what we are going to be building on as uh, AI automation specialist. So based on the models that have already been built, that is the foundation model. Our own LLM will be coming or will be trained on that. We also spoke about types of LLMs. We talk about text generation LLMs. So as an example of it is GPT 3.5, GPT-4, to be able to create essays, quizzes, and feedback. We have the audio and speech, we have the image generations, and we have the multimodal, that's the GPT 4.0 or 4.0. So we also talk about finding the right type of LLM. We said the right type of LLM, and I said you need to do it on to be able to get the right one. You need to check based on three. Number one is the architecture, that is the kind of data that's being used and the use cases. Talk about the selection method, has to be dependent on the task. That is, are you working on text? Is it on image? Is it on audio? I also said you have to do what? You have to ensure that you test it properly and iterate it to ensure that you have a perfect model. I also spoke about uh how the LLM works. I said it's just in three phases. Number one is tokenization. Tokenization helps us to break that text into tokens or smaller numbers, right? It converts those texts into numbers. As I said, prediction. The prediction helps us to find the probability to predict the next token. That is going to ensure that that particular token uh, that has been broken into sections or into numbers are available on the data that have been trained already. And we said the randomness, which is going to ensure that there's output for that particular. We're going to pick output based on that particular predictions that was made, then give it out to what? Give out the necessary points. So the first one is tokenization, second one is prediction, and the third one is randomness. Then I also said the journey. We'll talk about the journey where ChatGPT came from. I would say it started from the 1960s, then to the current generative AI that we have currently. I would say I wanted to look at how AI can transform education. Don't forget to say that's what we're going to be doing during the course of this project. We want to see how AI transforms education, how AI transforms education. And lastly, and not the least, I said, what is generative AI? I said it's what? It's a superpower. It's a superpower that that's the ability to produce tests, to be able to produce images, is able to be able to produce more just than a simple text. Do you understand? Based on whatever prompt that is given to it. I think we've been so far so good. We need to cover a lot. And I want to appreciate you for joining to this class. By God's grace, next week is going to be very engaging because I'm sure your playgrounds are going to be fully ready. Please take out your time to watch this video once more to set up your playgrounds. If you have any question, you can relate it to Emmanuel, and it's going to get across to you. So don't forget, if you want to reach me, you can reach me out on my LinkedIn. I'm always very there. So at any point, I'm going to respond to you if you have any challenge. Thank you very much, everyone. Good afternoon. Emmanuel.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ayoola. As usual, you delivered a really, really great session. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Ayoola in the chat box. Let's appreciate Mr. Ayoola. Please, let's all
Hello.
appreciate him.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Please, can we have the free version of without using the credit card?
No, you can't.
So how possible can one get a credit card? Is it going to
Bro,
be a
I think one
time?
thing that you should do is sorry, are you in Nigeria?
No, I'm in Ghana.
Okay, Ghana card work very well. The one
Okay.
I'm using currently, I used the Ghana I called one of my friend in Ghana to set it up for.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ghana cards work for it perfectly well without any stress.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, there's only people in Nigeria that might have that challenge, and I think the CBN has lifted the restriction. CBN has lifted the restriction on what's it called, on your dollar, on using of Naira card for dollar transactions. So you can just use it. They're not charging you. You only use it for 30 days. So before 30 days, ensure you go and remove your card so that the day you use it, they will not charge you. Do you understand? So you should just have that because you want to use it for practice. So by maybe 27, 28 day, just maybe set an alarm or set a reminder or something so that by 28th day, you know that you need to go and remove your card. So that in case you already have the resources running that have to be automatically charged, then that's it. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Mr. Ayoola. Please, if you have any more questions, I think Mr. Ayoola can take one more. While that is going on, please everybody go to the chat box. A feedback link has just been posted. Take a minute, 2 minutes to tell us what you feel about the program, about today's class. Tell us how we can improve in the session. So please go ahead to fill the feedback form and chat done when you are done. Please, taking the moment to wait for our replies before we officially bring the class to close. Please, I'm waiting for our replies. Chat's done. Immediately you're done filling the feedback form. Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Please, I'm waiting for our replies. Chat's done when you're done filling the feedback form. All right, Festus, thank you. I'm still waiting for some more. All right, Kiman Maven, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm still waiting for some more, and thank you so much for joining us in today's class. The recording and the material will be posted on the Telegram group, and we'll be hoping to see you all in class again last Friday of next month. Thank you so much. David, thank you so much.